Hi everybody, it's Mrs. Lehman. I hope you're all doing well. I have posted a few things in Google Classroom recently that I wanted to go over with you just to follow up because I gave you a challenge where you had to pick a number and then you did all the stuff to the number and you got an outcome of 3 every time. I want to explain to you why that works. I also want to explain the chickens and the eggs and the bananas. Um, Question to you that a ton of people are getting wrong. And I wanted to go over a few exciting announcements and just kind of check in and explain my expectations while you're out. So, just a few things to clarify and a few positive notes and some math. So, anyway, I'll try to keep this video short, but I had trouble working the webcam on the recording software, so I'm just using this kind of as a makeshift option. But anyway, so I'm going to go to Smart Notebook and I'm going to go over some things with you. So I gave myself a little agenda here. All right, so one thing quickly, I would like you guys to be checking into Google Classroom every day or every other day. I've been posting Kahoots in there, so please make sure you check those out. They're fun little games. They only take, a few minutes. It shouldn't be anything that taking you it should not be anything that is taking you hours, just literally a few minutes. So check those out, and then we can see who is on the leaderboard, who gets to the quote unquote podium of Kahoot. So nice job to the kids who have been working on that. I'm seeing about 30 kids typically on each Kahoot. Let's see if we can increase that a little bit. So Kahoot, IXL updates. So when you guys are out, you're missing a math class essentially every day that used to be 40 minutes, right? So I think it's a fair expectation to, obviously, if you have the internet, you're watching this video, but I think it's a fair expectation to go on IXL 20 to 30 minutes every day during the week. Now, as long as you're spending 20 to 30 minutes on math a day, I think you're doing what you need to. I don't want anyone stressing out and thinking they have to do a bajillion things. But 20 to 30 minutes, time flies when you're on IXL or doing some math problems. So that's where your goal should be set. So I think some kids are kind of confused on all these expectations because there's been a lot of kind of cloudiness around what's going on with all the school closure stuff. So the reason I'm suggesting, and again, it's not graded. I'm not going to lie to you. It is not graded. The reason I'm suggesting 20 to 30 minutes of IXL is because the skills that are highlighted in there are all things that you guys have already learned how to do, and they're things that you will need and you're expected to have a good understanding of when you go to 7th grade. So, it's all a building block. So to keep that foundation strong, you should really be in there practicing. So, but speaking of which, you guys have done an excellent job on IXL so far. I'm very proud of you guys. You have reached a wonderful milestone. Let me go to the next slide so I can bring that up. You guys have reached 80,000 questions on IXL. So, way to go. That's pretty awesome, guys. Keep up the good work on that. We'll be to 100,000 in no time if you keep up that same pace. So, way to go. Nice job. I like that I'm able to see what you're working on in there. So, okay, so this is what we're going to do now. We are going to go over this question I posted in Google Classroom the week before last. I challenge you to ask a family member, or you just pick one yourself. Pick any number between 1 and 10, double it, add 6, take that and divide it by 2, and then subtract the number that you got when you've done all those steps with the original number that you picked, right? When you subtract the 2, every single time your answer will be 3. As long as you did the math right, your answer will be 3, regardless of the number. So I'm going to show you how that works. So this kind of, I think people think, oh, it's magic. No, there's nothing magical about it. I'm finding out that an Apple Pencil does not work on the screen. Okay, so I'm going to draw this for you with a pen. So pick a number. Now, all of you watching this could have picked a different number, and the reality is it didn't actually have to be between 1 and 10. This would work with any number, and I'll show you why. The reason they pick between 1 and 10 is because they want to make the calculation part of it very easy for you when you're just doing this in your head and challenging someone. So, okay, so any number. So an unknown number we would describe as maybe n, right? We don't know what it's worth. So we have n, all right? It could be 1 up to, the highest number you can think of. We don't know. Now we're going to double it, right? So I had one group of n before. Now I'm going to have two groups of n. All right. So I've done part 1. I've doubled it. Now I need to add 6. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Add 6. Okay, so I'm going to draw a little tape diagram here. I'm going to draw a bar on top, or to the side, I should say, of the 2n that I have. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is a terrible tape diagram. I'm going to clean that up a bit, because I would if I were at school right now. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Please confirm that on your screen. I have 2n plus 6, right? So I've doubled it. I've added 6. Now I'm going to divide by 2. So I'm going to take this whole thing and divide it by 2. So, I mean, there's a few different ways of visually showing this, but if I had 2 n's, right, I'm now only going to have one of those n's because I've divided it by 2. So now I only have half of the 2n, which is just n. Now, so the doubling it and dividing it by 2 kind of negates the doubling it, right? You're just, it's kind of resetting it back to the original number. So we just have n again. But we added that 6, right? But we're dividing the 6 by 2. So half of 6 is 3. So we're going to draw the 3 here. So I have n plus 3, right? So I'm going to write this out algebraically on the side to get fancy. So 2n plus 6, right? When we take that whole thing and we divide it by 2, we're going to end up with n plus 3, right? Because we've divided this by 2 and we've divided this term by 2, right? So we have n plus 3. But now they want us to subtract out the n. So they want us to say n plus 3, but subtract out the original number. So this goes back to combining like terms, right? So if we take an n and we subtract the n, right? I'll just cross off the n up here, right? Get rid of the n. We are just left with 3 every single time. So that's why it works. It was like a balance beam that kept being undone, right? So we doubled the number, we divided the number. We added 6. That's why we're left with 3 because we divided it by 2, right? And then we got rid of the n by saying subtract the number that you started with. All right, so anyway, hopefully that makes some sense to you when I kind of visually show that to you and put it in terms of algebra. So hopefully that makes sense in your head. Not magic, just some math. Let's go to the next thing. I posted this challenge and a lot of kids got this wrong. Like, I honestly don't think one kid got this right. And I think that's from not being in school, to be honest, because honestly, this is not that hard, guys. But it was tricky. There were math wizards for sure at work on this because you'll see in a minute. All right, so we have 3 chickens, and that's for 60. So I think, if we were to draw tape diagrams, or we could even do an equation. 3 times the unknown chicken is 60, right? So we know that each chicken, wow, the stylus is garbage, right? Each chicken must be 20, okay? So let's make a note of that. It'll be easier for me to type it. Chicken equals 20. All right, so we've decided the chicken equals 20. Okay, now you can see we have a chicken plus 3 eggs plus 3 eggs equals 26 eggs. So if you started with 20 plus 3 plus 3, we're going to get 26. Yeah, so each egg is worth 1, right? So each nest of eggs, if it has 3 in it, that's the trick, guys. Those eggs right here, these nests, I should say, have 3 in it. Look down here, guys. That's a different number of eggs. So that's where we're seeing problems. All right, so let me erase that. So now down here, we know, hold on, pen. We know this is 3, right, for the eggs, plus, as there's 3 eggs in there. We have, look at this bunch, and look at this bunch. How many bananas are in each bunch? 6. So 6 plus 6 equals 15. That should say equals. All right, so, well, this is 12, right? 12 plus 3 does equal 15. So we know each banana must be worth 1. So they made that pretty simple. So we know each individual egg is equal to 1. And we know each banana is equal to 1 as well. So now we've got to plug into this. So what we're left with is 20. And we have plus. How many eggs are in that basket, guys? Well, if you look, there are 4 eggs in that basket, in that nest. Times, I'm going to use the multiplication dot. 1, 2, 3, 4 bananas, right? And this is where some kids goofed up. So a lot of kids miss the point that there are different bananas. There are 4 bananas here. There were 6 bananas up here. They also missed that there were 3 eggs in all these other examples. That stylus does not want to work, and that there are 4 eggs right here. So anyway, addition and multiplication. Well, we know that multiplication comes before addition. So we're going to do 16 right here. So 20 plus 16 equals 36. So your answer to this math problem is 36. Yikes, guys. All right. Okay, so that was really all I had for this video. Except I do want to say a few things. Let me go back to the camera. So, all right. So, a few things I wanted to tell you. Just so you know, I am famous. Not really. They put my house on Channel 7 News because I had some shrubs out front that I put a mask on. It's pretty cool though. So there's like 1 minute of my minute of fame. So check that out on Channel 7. Also, I don't know if you watched the video with me cutting my husband's hair, but thankfully no one's been knocking at my door trying to have me give them a haircut. So that's pretty good. But yeah. Anyway, guys, I do miss you. I hope you're watching these videos. Again, please check into Classroom every day or every other day. Do the Kahoots. Spend a total of about 20 to 30 minutes of math every day. You know, if you're doing a bunch more than that, you're probably doing too much. But don't make this stressful. But please stay engaged and please reach out and make sure you're commenting on things so that I know you're around and involved and all that stuff. Also, one quick thing, I did post what I call a choice board, and that should be for next week and a little bit, well, this week and next week. So again, total of 20 to 30 minutes on math. So if you're doing IXL, maybe you don't need to worry about the choice board. But if you're kind of sick of IXL, try the choice board. And those are just little things that I personally came up with to that relates to what we've learned, and are just little math activities you can do around your house. So check that out. That's in Google Classroom as well. Thank you guys for watching. I miss you. Stay well, and I hope to see you soon. All right, bye.